Still April 4th, 2025. It's the Very Terrible Podcast. This is the Riverside test. So we just got done with Squadcast, which you've all watched and enjoyed and told your friends and family about. And now we're on Riverside, which, I got to be honest with you, it looks like the same program.
Yep, sure does.
But I mean, the interface is nice. I like that it's there's a lot more contrast. It's a dark screen, white letters versus the white screen with dark letters. It's easier for my old eyes to see.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see. Well, I did. Oh, all right. So you see in the top of the screen where it says uploading?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the trick. Yeah, this one is a better idea. So if we have bad internet, this thing is going to load into the computer, and the program pulls it from the computer out to its cloud and then creates the video that we're going to have. And apparently, from what I've seen on the previews, it's going to give our not a script. What is it? Like when it gives the words of everything we. What's that?
A transcript.
Transcript, yes. And you can go in and edit with just the transcript, and it'll go into the video and pull out what you cut out of the actual transcript.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that could be
cancellation stuff. We can.
Yeah. Start talking about different social groups and everything else, and then no, delete.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, and then I'd have to edit that part out. I
don't think the spring sound is going to be in the transcript.
You watch. Ready? Mark Spring. See, all I got to do is say the words Mark Spring, and then I'll just delete that part out. Oh, man. Yeah. So then this is the hard part, right? Is because we just went through and did 20 minutes of the last episode. So now we got to do another original and wonderful, whatever time we do in the next one.
3 hours. That's a marathon.
I don't know. How long is this trial? It can't be more than an hour. They're not here to give this stuff away for free.
If they want our business, they are.
I know. An up-and-coming podcast. And then I think this is also the one that has the audio file. So then we were talking about that where, if you'll have a video, the combo video file with all of our names and everything on the screen. So far it looks perfect as long as it works. And then to have an audio file, which the part that'll really burn my ass is going to be because I just got done dropping a few $100s on this mixing board for recording audio, and now it's completely useless.
Don't get burnt up in that.
I know.
But I will say the other one had better video on you. Like you were like high fidelity.
Really?
And this one you just look kind of normal fidelity.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that good looking to begin with, so I mean, it's not like, huh. I'll bet you, you know what the worst part is? I'll bet you, Dave, there's settings that I could go into and turn up the, 780p versus other stuff. Oh, yeah. Well, there's resolution. I guess I can't change the resolution in the middle. It's set up at 720p. Recording type, audio and video. Yeah. I don't know. If that's the worst thing, then we'll know for next time. Like I said, at the end of this thing, as long as we get a product that works that I can just put out and say, okay, hey, listen, here we go. So, once again, from the last weekend, right? Was it last weekend? I'd say it was last weekend. Lori was here. We're all here. Lori's on her phone. Dave's at his house. I'm over here. We're trying to get 3 people going at the same time. My old 2015 laptop from when I put myself through college wasn't able to keep up. The best part was I had to go laptop shopping. So this is it. Yeah, this is where we could take this episode. When's the last time you had to go and buy technology?
I mean, if it's a product that makes the world easier, then I guess, it's not that bad. But
yeah. Well, for me, once again, 2015, I buy the laptop. So I go through and you get myself through college, which is just click until you get a degree. So I go through and I get that done, and then I just started going in, but I didn't realize how much technology had changed. So I go to start computer shopping, and just the way you told me, you said, hey, just go on YouTube and start learning, and it's so much fun. Didn't have fun. Did not have fun.
You're grumpy Gus.
Oh, I am. It's so bad. I got into this thing, and then I'm like, all right, well, what do I have? So I had to watch a video on how to get into my laptop to see what it is I had. So then I'd see what my CPU unit was, and then what my memory cards were, and then what my graphics card was. everything I put back into Google, like I'd get the name of it and I'd put it back into Google and it would go antiquated technology. It's like cannot handle more than a video game. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. And the pisser was last year I went through and I put in, I got rid of the regular hard drives and I got rid of those solid state drives put in because I thought it would make it quicker, and it did. But it ended up just collapsing the entire thing. So I wasted money on that last year.
Yeah, it's like putting Chrome hubcaps on a Yugo.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. So I'm going online and I'm looking at all these things, but once again, where do you go to buy just a laptop? Gone are the days of you go to a computer store. Really, there really aren't any left.
Tiger Direct.
What is it?
Tiger Direct.
Is that what it is? We got to get a plug to Tiger Direct because I'd never heard of them. Never heard of them. So I started at BJ's and Sam's, right? Well, what happens with BJ's and Sam's is those are just the markdowns, the models that they don't sell anymore. So you get them at a good price, but nobody wants them. Then I end up trying Walmart and Target, and that was also crap because they're just pushing out just laptops. And then I started doing research on what it is that we need to pull this off and make it look good, and it was not the numbers that were there. And then, I'm like, well, then the price starts getting upper and upper and upper, and I'm like, okay, there's going to be a crunch somewhere. Where is this crunch going to come from? So I went, all right, there's only one real computer store that I can remember that still exists, and that's Best Buy. I drive over to Best Buy in Fort Myers, and I am immediately greeted at the door by a man that has like this iPad, and he's like, can I help you? What are you looking for? I'm like, whoa, okay, we just don't get the shop, I guess. So, I had the kids there with me, so they wanted to go browse. And I'm like, well, I'm looking for a laptop, and the kids want to go browse. So whatever button you need to push for browse is for them, and laptops is for me. So we all go into the store, and then I go off with them to watch them shop for a little bit. They want to look at video games and whatnot. So we go over that way, and while this is going on, apparently somebody is looking for me over in laptops, which they did not find me until later on when I made my way over. Now, you and I, coming from a background in retail, know about merchandising. What I will tell you is there was no merchandising in this section. There are laptops. They are in the corner. Buddy, it's not done by screen size, by brand name, by price point, by nothing. I mean, it is just HP, Dell, Lenovo, this, that, the other. Screen sizes are different. Features are different. The price tags are red. They're black. I got no idea. And I'm like, and I forgot what the heck it was. Like, I think we went somewhere for lunch, so I had just a couple of beers in me. And I'm like, okay, now I'm wound up. We're going to have fun with this either one way or the other. So eventually, a young man comes over to me to come and offer me service, who unfortunately his first language was not English. So, yeah. So now I'm like, all right, I'm here today to learn about laptops. I need to figure out what these numbers mean. What is a 16 and a 32? What is a terabyte of this? What does this mean? What does that mean? And I'm here to learn more than anything else. He's like, okay, what are you going to do? I said, well, we run a very world famous podcast. I'm sure you've all heard of it. And he comes in, he's like, all right, well, what brand do you want? I was like, well, I have an HP. I'd like another HP. He goes, okay. I said, but I needed to have the 32 gigs on the computer. I needed to have a terabyte for memory, and I need to learn more about the graphics cards. He's like, that's an HP, that's an HP, that's an HP. And I went, oh, this is not good. I said, who merchandises this area? And he looks like through me because he doesn't know the word merchandise. He's like, what is merchandising?
You just scaled the wall.
I said, I tell you what, we're done. I said, we're done. You go ahead and have a great day. I'm going to go ahead and keep browsing. We're good. So then I just said to hell with it. At this point, I wasn't going to buy anything anyway. So I'm just kind of looking and aimlessly going through this section of laptops. And then out of the corner of my eye, this girl comes over who's not wearing like a Best Buy outfit, but she has like an Intel shirt on. And, she is a young lady who really looks like she loves computers and would do well in a computer store environment. So she comes over and just real unassuming, like she goes, hey, can I help you? And I went, I'm just here to learn about computers and I'm not having a great day with it. She goes, well, okay, what are your questions? Really to the point. I'm like, oh, this is nice. I go, okay, computers. I go 16 and 32. I go, what's the difference? And I go, don't tell me 16 because I know that's the math. She says, well, you make dinner, right? I went, well, yeah, everybody makes dinner. She goes, well, 16 and 32 is like trying to make dinner when you have not enough counter space. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, if you make dinner, you don't have enough counter space. What happens? I go, well, the pots and pans pile up and you can't get your meal made right and it takes forever. She goes, exactly. She goes, that's 16 and 32. She goes, 16, that computer can do 1 or 2 functions and that's going to be it. And then the counter gets full. She goes, 32, 4 or 5 different functions, all kinds of tabs open. It can do everything you need to do at once. I'm like, holy crap. You just explained something to me that no one else I've met so far today or the internet could provide. And I sat there with her for about 40 minutes. And she was just an absolute delight. So by the time it was done, she pointed out the one that I was going to buy, which was well beyond what I wanted to spend because I didn't have a realistic perspective of what these things actually cost. But it has every bell and whistle. It has, I can't even remember, something like, there's like a 5, a 7, and a something else kind of an operating system in it. This thing has like a 9 that has an i9 operating system. Like there's not even most of the 9s aren't even out yet. It has 2 graphics cards. It has all this other happy shit in it. It's amazing little computer. It does everything. I'm sure it does even more than I can even imagine. But just one absolutely awesome experience that this young lady pulled Best Buy out of the toilet with. So when I went back the next day, because I told her, I said, hey, listen, I go, I'm not real comfortable buying anything today. I'd really like to go do some more research. She goes, yeah. She goes, you shouldn't buy today at all. Like, really? She goes, yeah. She goes, you need to do your research. She goes, you're going to spend a lot of money. You can't just go buying the first laptop you see. I mean, she was absolutely perfect. And she was telling me that, she gets intimidated trying to talk to people and then, to sell things and be a salesperson. And she goes, people think I'm always trying to rip them off. And I go, well, I have one easy question for you. I said, are you hourly or do you get are you compensated for sales? She goes, no, I get a flat hourly rate. I said, there you go. Just tell people that. If you have a flat hourly rate, it doesn't matter if you buy the computer or not. It doesn't change your paycheck. So I went back the next day and then I found the manager and I sent in an email and all that stuff. Hopefully there's like an employee reward program for him. But the first young man I was not at all happy with. The second one, that other young lady, she just did a fantastic job. And then the next day I go in, and I don't know if you've had this happen or not, Dave. The credit card didn't want to let me buy it.
No.
Yeah. The credit card, we pay off our cards every month. We don't carry over balances. They keep giving us credit limit increases. I go to buy this $2,000 computer, and it says, no, thank you. This says card locked. I have to call the Visa people. I get a woman who's on a headset that sounds like she's washing her friggin' dishes in the sink, and she's giving me shit about I'm not providing the right information. She goes, I need your wife's mother's maiden name. I'm like, listen, look at the account. I'm calling you from the number that it's connected to. I'm telling you I'm in a Best Buy in Fort Myers buying one laptop. I was like, it's $2,000 and I've got way more credit limit and no balance on the card. I don't understand what this problem is. Well, sir, it's for your protection. I said, I'm about to cancel this goddamn card.
It's for your protection.
I'm like, listen, somebody who's stealing my identity is going to do better than one stinking laptop out of a Best Buy in Fort Myers.
Well, they know how you act like a minority group, and you don't usually spend money, so they're like, hold up. Hold up.
Sir, I noticed you were here 8 minutes and did not pinch any change in your pocket.
Yep. Come on, mister.
Oh, gosh. I mean, it hurt. I got to be honest with you, Dave. It hurt to spend that much money.
When is the last time you spent $2,000 on one purchase?
When I bought my truck in 2017.
I mean on a credit card.
Oh, oh my gosh. No, we put the cruises and stuff on them to get the points, and then we pay them off. So I mean, it's a 2-week transaction.
Yeah, that was an anomaly on your account.
Yeah.
They were like, hold on, bucko. They thought you lost your card at the Buc-ee's station and somebody went shopping.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I did
not spend $2,000 on a laptop.
Yeah. Well, they were the lady washing her dishes wasn't aware that we're on the world famous podcast.
Well, she does now.
Yeah, she's gonna. I can't remember her name. It's too bad. I'd call her out.
Yeah.
Old Helen in probably shithole Idaho or
Helga.
Yeah, washing her damn. That's the pisser was like I could hear clunking and stuff and like water running in the background, and I'm like, she's literally washing her damn dishes. She's probably working from home and just in her fucking bathrobe feeding her cat.
Like I work from home, and most of our company now works from home, and I'm very professional about it. Like I'm very strict. Like Ashley's like, why don't you do this or do that? I'm like, no, I'm supposed to be working.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're wearing pants.
Yeah, most of the time. I gotta walk the dog, so the
Yeah.
neighbors don't like it when I walk the dog without pants.
Hey, Winnie the Pooh's outside walking his dog. Full Donald Duck.
Yeah. So, you know, but then I'll call some coworkers of mine and I hear their kids screaming and flying around. I'm like, there's no way
Yeah.
you're productive.
And it ruins it for everybody. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
think of it. It really is a win-win. If everybody really puts in a fair effort, your company doesn't need to buy office space. It's cheaper to send the stuff to your house. You don't have to leave your house, and then if you went the COVID route, you're less likely to get sick. You're not going to get into a car accident. Your attendance is pretty much almost guaranteed. You don't need to call out sick because you're just moving from one room to the other. It is a win for everybody, but then you meet those people that frig it up, and then,
Yeah.
now here you are. They have companies making everybody go back to work or they lay them off.
Yeah, I love working from home, but I will say it like my social skills have diminished a little bit. Like,
Really?
yeah, I don't
You,
interact.
you don't feel that, like, I mean, I know it's artificial, but I mean, you do socialize with people.
A little bit at work, but like not. Like I notice, like when I do travel at work and I go to customers' houses, I'm like not as polished as I used to be with the whole gift the gab.
Yeah.
I had the whole, lingo in my back pocket, and I kind of had a system when I would walk in a customer's house and how I'd talk to them. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of rusty at this.
Yeah.
Or if I stay at the house so long and I leave, and I'm like, there's whole sections of town that have been rebuilt since I've left my cave. I'm like, what is this? And they're like, that's been there for like 2 years. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, you know how it's like when I come back up and visit your town? I mean, I left there in what, 2006. So it's been almost 20 years. And I am telling you, what a difference.
It's growing like crazy.
It's not even fun anymore. It's just Port Charlotte just spilled up into Northport, which is spilling up into Venice, which is spilling up into Sarasota. It's just spilling. I keep hitting this. Got to get a better table.
Yeah, like Welland Park, we paid for all that as Northport, and they're gonna recategorize it as its own city. I bet.
Oh, yeah.
After we pay for it.
Yep. Yep. I don't know. Are they still playing spring training games over there in Port Charlotte? With Stone Crabs
Yeah,
or whatever
they
was
are.
there?
I'm pretty. I'm pretty sure they are, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, okay.
But
Look
I
at
know
that.
Welland Park is for the. Yeah,
It was
Welland-
Stone Crabs. I think the Stone Crabs are gone, but was the Rays spring training was there? Or did they just keep everything in Tampa now that the stadium's gone?
I don't know, but I've got the internet. We can figure it out.
Yeah. And then
Welland
is
Park is super, super nice, and that's the Braves. So
yeah. Yeah. I remember them digging up that area to pull it in. And the best part is that I drove by it when they were clearing all the land. I mean, just an obscene amount of land that got cleared. And I'm like, you're going to tell me that they didn't find one stupid turtle or owl on any of that land that would stop that construction?
Yep, it says the Charlotte Sports Park is still where they do spring training.
Huh. That's cool. Because opening day was the other day, wasn't it?
I'd be lying if I told you I knew.
Yeah.
I'm as connected to baseball as, I don't watch baseball at all.
No, me either. And then, like, the thing with the Tropicana getting destroyed, I think those Yahoos are actually thinking about, like, trying to rebuild it again. And I'm like, it's not going to work. It's just not.
You gonna apply some more toilet paper to the roof?
Yeah, well, you got that part of it. But, like, once again, nobody wants to drive into St. Pete. Nobody wants to. It's a great stadium for air conditioning. I mean, hell, everybody likes the air conditioning because they're about to learn right now with that Steinbrenner Field over there in Tampa, which is right across the street from Raymond James. They're going to lose half their games to rainouts because every day at 4 o'clock it's going to rain, and that's going to be like the 7 o'clock, first pitch. You're going to end up losing half of your games on that. So that's probably not going to work. But I guess all these new generation stadiums are all going to have retractable roofs, air conditioning, and all that. Because the Marlins over in Miami, they were trying to play outside, and that didn't work at all. And now I guess their new one has a retractable roof and air conditioning and all that.
So if they're going to keep Tropicana, who's going to use that?
Who's going to use what?
Because the Braves, or I mean the Devil Rays, they're moving to Tampa, right?
Well, that's the thing that we don't know. So like right now, spring training could still be in Port Charlotte, right next to the Braves. But like for regular season right now, they're sitting across the street from Raymond James Stadium up in Tampa.
Okay. I thought that they had already set in stone that they were going to build them a stadium in Tampa.
They were going to build one around the corner, also in St. Pete, and then those plans fell through because they were going to get 2 more years out of Tropicana before the storm blew it up. So in those 2 years that they were going to have, that last couple of years was going to be the, hey, do you remember back when they were building Raymond James, they had the old Sombrero and Raymond James side by side for a while?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so I got some old pictures of it, and like so they build one stadium next door, then they tear down the old one, and then that turns into the parking lot. And then because like right now, the Glaziers got together the other day and decided that they have to have discussions on what they're going to do about Raymond James because, at least in most of our heads, oh, Raymond James is the new stadium. It's now was 30 years old. I think they built it in '95. So now it's a 30-year-old stadium. Now they've got to do something with Raymond James, and it's because it's a small, relatively small stadium as compared to today's standards.
Yeah, well, the team sucks, so maybe nobody will show up.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is it was, when you had Brady there, did you see what they did when Brady was there? They put the extra seats in.
No, what'd they do?
So where we had our season tickets for the Bulls, you remember they had like the flat area, it had like the Miller deck, and it had like the palm trees and all the place you'd go up there and you'd get your toppings for your hot dogs and all that, the standing around area.
Yep.
They walled it in with seats. They put up temporary stadium seating all the way up in the back, and they made it like a complete dome all the way around, but they just like left the ship. And then Tom Brady filled every one of those seats. So now that Tom Brady's gone, down comes the seats, and they're back down to I think it's a 68,000 seat capacity stadium, where Raymond James is 68,000. You got Ben Hill Griffin sitting at 88,000.
Still like about 60,000 too many people.
Yeah, well, the Bucs games have good turnouts. Now, as far as the old Bulls go, those yahoos are trying to build their own stadium, and they're still asking for money. They sent me another email again. It's giving week. I'm going to give you the finger. I'm not giving you shit. You guys, you can't put a winning team on the field.
Yeah, when's the last time you got to one of those games?
We went. I feel like I went to one game last year. Oh yeah, we did. We went to one game last year because the tickets were free. We have
That's just your style.
That's the price I'm willing to pay because I still had to pay for my own gas and food and all that up there. It was there's a group called First Ticks, and it's for first responders. Organizations will have tickets that just get donated that they know they're either not going to sell or people want to write things off or do whatever. So I'll get 4 or 5 emails a day. Hey, listen, here's all the events in the areas that you've picked. So I picked like Raleigh, North Carolina, down here in Tampa, Orlando. I picked one other stupid area. Maybe it was Alabama or something like that. Not that Alabama tickets are ever going to come up. But then like I get all these emails that says, hey, here's a comedy show. Here's a night out with song and dance. Here's some sporting events. And the only caveat is if you ask for the tickets, you have to use them. They number all the tickets individually. Like, okay, here are your tickets. You have to show up, show your ID, and use those tickets. And as long as you do, you stay in the front of the line. If for any other reason that you don't use the tickets or you try to sell them or anything like that, they'll either blacklist you or you go to the back of the line and then you don't get anything. But it's a really cool organization. I mean, there's been a couple of events that we've done where it's just, hey, here's some free tickets. They're not going to get used. Go ahead and have at it. So free's the price I'm willing to pay.
Yep. Free is good for Spinner.
It is. Well, it looks like we got ourselves another 25-minute show, Dave.
Cool.
What do you like? Do you like the other one better or you like this one?
You lagged a lot during this one.
Did I? Well, let's find out then how the final result comes out. Because I did. Actually, I had a couple of messages come up on my screen about like internet connection, which is really odd because I shouldn't have any internet issues. Because I'm sitting there, I could touch pretty much the router and this thing here at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have? We might want to if it's not already, hardwire the internet into your.
The new laptop doesn't have a slot for it.
Oh, jeez, it doesn't.
No, I've got the hardwire sitting on the floor because I was going to do that with the old laptop, and it still didn't work. But I think that's going to be the thing. That's the whole sales pitch with this Riverside FM, right? So it's been recording into my computer. So even if it lagged or did whatever, it's going to upload the finalized good product into this final thing that we get to see when we're done.
That'll be interesting how it came out, because there was about 3 times where I couldn't hear you for about 5 seconds straight.
Huh. Okay. And then my screen says actual recording is higher quality.
Yeah.
Oh, it says it on your screen too. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's shut this down, and then we will we'll revisit it, and we'll see what we can put out. And like I said, don't sign off, because I'm going to hit the stop button, and then we're going to see what happens next.
All right.
All right. To hell. Let's give her hell, buddy. I'm Jason. It has been another attempt at another very terrible podcast.